Absolutely. Look, big changes coming 1st July. I guess the thing to think about is what was the purpose of the changes in the first place. We had that aged care Royal Commission in 2021, which really saw a lot of big issues in the industry. And what's that now moved into is some big changes come 1st July this year. Um, as we see and hear what these changes are, it is something that is on the mind of many people thinking about aged care for either themselves or their family members and how that is to be funded here on in.
Well, exactly. And how do you fund it given, Nick, which is encouraging? Most of us all living longer, life expectancy is longer, but aged care is not necessarily always accessible or affordable.
Yeah, that's right. And I suppose what the changes are aimed to really look at is those that do have the means to pay should be paying more. Um, there are the options for those that do not have the means, that there is still a large level of government funding available there. But to bring it back to the original question of what do you do, how do you fund it, it's really to firstly take a step back and understand, well, what will those costs be? What are the changes going to be as well? And then planning out ideally years ahead of, well, what assets, what income will be available to then meet those ongoing expenses.
And do you have, Nick, really healthy ongoing conversations with your client base, or is it something that not everybody really wants to talk lots about? It's not a comfortable conversation a lot of the time.
No, it's not. But I can tell you what, it's better having that conversation 5, 10 years earlier with the family as a part of that than in the hospital trying to make a decision on which aged care facility to go to. Do we have to sell the family home or not? So yes, really do encourage starting those conversations earlier and earlier. And it's even something that we're discussing with our clients that have just started retirement, because there is significant cost towards the end of their life as they do go into aged care. But look, a part of the residential aged care changes is also major changes to the home care system as well, which is effectively encouraging people to stay home for longer, because it's, frankly, you can see it through the facts here that there's just simply not enough beds available for those that are needing to enter aged care right now.
Hey, Nick, I'm curious, it kind of dovetails along with all of this. We know that many people don't want to leave the family home, but there are others that stay in the family home because they don't have an alternative, or they are fearful of some of the fees that go along with moving. What kind of conversations do you have around, liquidating that big asset that people have worked their entire lives for at a certain time of life?
I suppose the conversation isn't so much the family home that you've lived in your whole life or aged care. There is that transition period between. There may be a lot of conversations that we're having is something that's a bit more appropriate. It might be a downsize into either a unit, a retirement village, something that is more appropriate before considering that aged care move. And a lot of the time, a part of that is freeing up a fair chunk of capital, which can be utilised to not only fund the ongoing cost of the care needs, but also the other income and expenditure items, because there is still that lifestyle perspective when we're even getting into our 80s, 90s, and that need for aged care beyond.
Tell us, and sorry if you've sort of alluded to this already, but exactly what the grandfathering arrangements entail.
Yeah, so it might be worth actually taking a step back and understanding what the changes are and what will be and what won't be changing. I see the big ticket items are changes to the minimum accommodation deposit or maximum accommodation deposit that can be charged, going from 550,000 to 750,000 without further approval. That the aged care facility can now hold on to 2% of the payment you made towards your accommodation for a period of 5 years. So 10% of what you put in, you may not get back. And then the indexation of a lot of those expenses as well, we're seeing coming into there also. So the grandfathering arrangements as a part of that is it's straight line 1st of July or 30 June 2025, is those that are in care under the old rules will remain on the old rules, whereas those entering after that date will be under the new rules, which is quite a significant change. An example I put together was if we had a single age pensioner paid $550,000 for their refundable accommodation deposit moving into aged care and has $700,000 in their bank account, potentially from a sale of a property. Under the old rules, they'd be paying $41,238. But if they moved into aged care after 1st of July, it would be $75,707. So almost $35,000 difference.